Welcome to another episode of Montana Shares, your opportunity to find out about the nonprofits that make our state so great. Today we have Kelly and Rhonda from Student Assistance Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Great. So let's dive right in. What does Student Assistance Foundation do?
Very good. Well, Bill, most people know Student Assistance Foundation because they are somebody they love repaid their student loans through us, which we appreciate. What they may not know is that by repaying their student loans through Student Assistance Foundation, they're actually helping us help more Montana students have the opportunity to pursue post-secondary education. We use the largesse that we earn from servicing student loans to fund our grant, scholarships, and outreach programs all throughout Montana. Rhonda is our programs manager, and she is in charge of several of our programs. So she'll be talking about some of those things, but we really have a broad reach. We are headquartered here in Helena, but we have outreach offices in 7 communities throughout the state. We have a separate outreach office here in Helena, which is at Helena College, plus offices in Bozeman, Missoula, Billings, Butte, Great Falls, and Big Fork. Altogether, we have about 145 employees, most of whom work in Helena.
Okay. So Rhonda, let's hear about one of the programs that you work on.
Okay. The 2 programs that I work on are College Gold Montana, which is help filling out the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. And the other program that I manage is the foster care program. And so I'll start with the foster care program. We help foster care youth go on to post-secondary education, and we help them in 2 separate ways. One of them being what's called the Education and Training Voucher Funds, or ETVs. We partnered with the Department of Health and Human Services and disperse the money out to the schools. There's up to $5,000 for those kids to go on to post-secondary education. They have to have aged out of the foster care system and or had a guardianship or been adopted after the age of 16 to qualify for the program. There is an application that's out on our smartaboutcollege.org website that they have to fill out. There's a couple of deadlines for that application, one being in July for the whole school year, and then another one's just coming up December 15th if they're going in the spring. So when we get those in, we then run them through all the qualifications to make sure that the students are eligible. They do have to have a 2.0 GPA to be able to also get those funds. And then if they are eligible, we disperse those funds out to all the schools. So another way that we help with the foster care youth in their success in going on to post-secondary education is we have a summit once a year. It's called A Step Ahead. And this is all college prep and life skills with those students. And this will be our 11th year that we are doing this. And we have them on a college campus for a whole week. We get about 30 kids from around the state, these are the same youth that are eligible for the ETVs, and spend some time with them for the whole week, like I said, working on skills so that it's not just about getting them to college, but getting them through with some kind of degree, whether that's a 1-year, a 2-year, or a 4-year. And so that's a really great way we spend some of our funds to help our youth be successful.
Okay, wonderful. Back to you. What else give us another program that you guys do?
Absolutely. Your viewers may have recently seen some advertising on TV or heard it on the radio about our partnership with Scholly, which is a scholarship search tool. Students answer some very basic questions about themselves, their interests, maybe their career goals, some of those things within Scholly. And then Scholly scrapes the web to find scholarships for which they may be eligible. They can keep track of the scholarships for which they hope to apply, and they actually have applied within Scholly, and it's just a great tool. So we are funding access for that for Montana students. Students can request an access code through our website, smartaboutcollege.org, or they can reach out to any of our outreach staff, and they too can provide them with an access code to be able to start their scholarship search tool or scholarship searches within Scholly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So pretty much any student in Montana can request a code and get access to this great tool.
Yes, absolutely. So college students can use it, high school students can use it. Much younger than that, there's probably not going to be a lot that students can apply for yet, but
they
can
a good
certainly,
kindergarten, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We want them to start early. Maybe not quite that early with their scholarships, but it really is a useful tool. Every year there's scholarships that students don't apply for. Oftentimes students and parents have misperceptions about scholarships. They may think that you have to be a stellar athlete or you have to be a 4.0 student in order to get any scholarship dollars, and that just simply isn't the case. In addition to our work with Scholly and trying to help students apply for scholarships, Rhonda's other program, College Goal Montana, plays a very significant role in helping students access funds to pay for college.
Okay, so let's hear about College Goal
College Goal
Montana.
Okay, so like I said, College Goal Montana is us helping families and students and parents fill out the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, which is the first step to securing funding to go on to post-secondary education. And a lot of times people think that they don't qualify for anything, they make too much money, or whatever might be the reason that they think this is not something I need to do. Everybody should fill out the FAFSA, even if they think they might be going. It doesn't take that long to do. It doesn't cost anything. And then even if you're not sure you're going to go now, it'd be good to to do it and have it there just in case, because our kids do change their minds. They decide they want to go in July, then it would still be in place for them. So the dates that you really want to be doing that is the one for the 16-17 school year will be coming available as of January 1st. So what Student Assistance Foundation does is coordinate this all around the state. We have about 70 high schools around the state, a few colleges that host events. So Student Assistance Foundation provides them, really the tools. We have a how-to book, and give them helpful hints and tips on how to have a successful event at their school. So the parents and students come to the school. They get to pick their own date and time, whatever works best for their community. They come to the school, and sometimes they have a 20-minute overview about the FAFSA, or sometimes they just sit down and do it, but they can kind of do it however they want to. But the whole idea is for them to bring all their items with them to the event, sit down at a computer, work on the FAFSA. They have helpers, usually from some of our financial aid offices and our Student Assistance Foundation outreach people there. Then they can just kind of raise their hand when they get stuck. And that way they can get through and get it done correctly. The things they need to bring with them that they should be thinking about now is there is an FSA ID, an ID that they need to have. Both the student and the parent need to have one to sign that form to actually have it submitted and be completed. So they could go out and do that right now, basically out on the Department of Ed's website. And some parents that have had students in the past have known that there was a PIN that they used to have, a personal identification number. This has been changed then to this FSA ID, and they can link that to it and then still use that. And they use that FSA ID also to get into student loan information and stuff in the future, sign their master promissory note, many items for that. So they bring that in their last year's taxes, because then they're going to basically take that and estimate on their FAFSA, and then they'll go back in when they get their new taxes done and update that using an IRS data retrieval tool. But we'll help them get their way through all of that so it's done. The big thing too we're looking to have our students and parents do is do it by March 1. That is the priority deadline date for most schools around the state. If their student is thinking about going to the U of M, then they need to have it done by February 15th. I say priority deadline date because you can still do it after that, but there are some pots of funds that are limited, and it's a first come, first serve. So the sooner you do it, the more likely your name is going to get in for those limited pots of funds.
Okay, so in theory, they could do this on their own. Is that right?
That is correct.
But most people are going to procrastinate, and they'll push it right up to February 14th or March or February 28th or something. So your goal is to get them in an environment where they can just sit down, get rid of all the distractions of life, and get it done. And if they've got any questions, you're there to help them out, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
That's
I
exactly
know
it.
exactly what you're talking about. That's like we have so many demands on our life that if we don't pull ourselves out of our environment and go somewhere and get it done right, it's going to be that midnight oil being
And
burned.
you're usually done in 30 minutes. So when you see an event on our Smart About College website, there's a whole calendar of events. So just look and see if there's one in your area. And it may say that it's from 5 to 7. That means you can drop by any time during that time period. It is not 2 hours long. People think, oh my goodness, 2 hours. But really, you're usually done in 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the difficulty of your FAFSA. But most of the time people are done within 30 minutes. So just bring all your stuff, come by when it's convenient for you, and yes, get expert help.
Expert help is a key issue. Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rhonda. What's your next one?
Well, the next one that I'll talk about is a newer program for us. It's called Montana Money Magic. It's a matched education savings account program and a financial literacy program that's available in 6 regions throughout the state, including right here in Helena. So through Montana Money Magic, eligible students receive up to 16 hours of financial education, covering everything you could think of that a student might need to know who's about to embark on their adulthood about their finances. So we cover budgeting. We of course talk about how you save and plan and pay for college. We talk about managing credit card debt, avoiding it if you can, but if you do have it, how do you manage that? All kinds of different topics to help them get a strong financial footing. We do pre and post tests with the students on their financial knowledge for this program. Every single student who has done this program has increased their financial knowledge. We've been fortunate that we have had some students who come in with quite a bit of financial knowledge, and that's always really nice for our instructors and for their other classmates in their cohort to know that there's another student who knows a lot about financial education. But as you might suspect, many students come in not knowing very much at all. So it's very rewarding for us that we can demonstrate that the students who have done this have drastically increased their financial knowledge and capability. So that's the first part of the program. The students then have the option to do part 2 of the program, which is the matched education savings piece. So they can earn a 3-to-1 match on their savings up to $1,350 and those funds can be used to pay for post-secondary expenses, which is a pretty broad category. So if they're a student who wants to do a dual enrollment class, they can use their match money to pay for that. If they need a computer, we can do that. If they need to buy tools, we can do that. It's really quite broad. The key to the match savings piece is that the savings that the students have has to come from their own employment. It has to be earned income that they have saved. So it's really a great program, and people can find out more about that program on our website as well, and it's Montana Money Magic.
How much time is involved with the first part of that educational piece? I'm betting more than 30 minutes.
Much more. It is 16 hours of financial education. So the nice thing is that our outreach staff in each of the communities where we have them do a really nice job of working with the students within each cohort to plan those classes in a way that's conducive for them. So in October, all the public schools were closed for 2 days for teacher in-service education. It was like October 15th or 16th. So we had several of our outreach staff plan classes for those 2 days. So 2 8-hour days is 16 hours of education. That's a long time to sit and learn about financial items, but it's a way for students to accomplish that in a condensed schedule that makes sense for them. We also have some classes that are set up for 4 hours for 4 Saturdays in a row, or maybe it's 2 hours a week for 8 weeks. It really just depends on the students in the class and that particular community, but we try to be as flexible as possible.
Right, and it's a free class.
Yeah.
I mean, people pay money to learn these things if they go to college and whatnot to learn about the same type of, maybe not that focused, but in general, it's a free class. It's got to be a great deal.
It is a really great deal, and I have to tell you, our outreach staff are simply outstanding. They engage very well with students. They keep the conversation lively. They're very interactive. They understand where students are coming from. So I think if I were a student and I was maybe wanting to improve my financial knowledge, a Student Assistance Foundation outreach manager should be the first person that they seek out to learn more about it.
You bet. And matching funds are like top on my list for another great thing in life
Isn't that
too.
great?
Free money is the best you can get.
Yep. They work really hard to get students in the habit of saving every payday, so that's also part of why the students need to have their own earnings to be in the match savings component of the program. So they talk with them about their financial goals and what do they hope to use their match money for. They set a goal at the beginning of the program, and of course goals change, which is fine, but really we try to put that target and that goal out in front and then help them figure out a strategy to be able to achieve that. So what is a reasonable amount to save every payday so that you can achieve that goal?
Right, makes it very tangible too. It's not just we're saving some money, we're saving money for a toolbox or for a computer or whatever the case is, very tangible.
Absolutely.
Great, Montana Money Magic, is that right?
Montana Money Magic.
Okay.
And I should say that program also is in partnership with the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. They're a great partner for us.
Tell me about another one. How about? You've got a great list of them
I can do that. So another thing that we do is our Circle of Success Scholarship Program. This scholarship program is really pretty unique because it was started by our employees, not the employees only in the foundation activities part of Student Assistance Foundation, but the broader population, the 145 employees that work at SAF. They really wanted to have a way to give back, so they established the scholarship program. It was initially funded with contributions from our employees, so voluntary payroll deductions, and then we added several other events to fund the scholarship. It's a $1,000 scholarship, and students can use that in their second, third, or fourth year of college. So students already in college, this is a really great resource that they can apply for. It's a simple application, and really our goal is to help students from all corners of Montana better afford their education. Last year, 2 years ago, we added another circle to our Circle of Success, and that's specifically for graduates of a Graduation Matters Montana high school. So that one is 25 $1,000 scholarships for high school graduates to apply for.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So really a person just needs to be going to your website and spending some time, because you've got multiple different ways you can help people get to college, stay in college, get into graduate work, the whole works.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're also on Facebook, of course. We're on Instagram, 406 Students, 406 Parents, or 406 Educators to find us. So we try to be accessible both on the web and in person all throughout Montana.
Okay, so any final thought you want to wrap up with here on what you guys do?
You know, I should have started with our mission, which is to provide Montana students with the knowledge and tools to pursue and fund their post-secondary education. But I think you can see from all we've talked about, that's exactly what we do at Student Assistance Foundation.
And
Great.
I forgot one more bit of free money out there, the I Pledge. If they go out to our website, also they can pledge to do their FAFSA by March 1 and get their name in for $400 or $500 scholarships. We'll be giving out 4 of those and 1 grand prize of $1,000. And I always say this is one of those easy scholarships that you don't have to write a paper or anything for. Just put your name in there, go pledge that you're going to do it.
Great, I love it. You guys have so many different things that you do. Well, thanks for all the work that you do for our students in this state. And I'd like to thank all the visitors that are watching this and finding out more about our nonprofits. So thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.